Wrestling fans, we're back. The Pack Mentality Poppins podcast, the 9th season, episode 139. What a way to start it off. The champ is here, Trent Hidlay. Are you foreshadowing something? You're in a different location today. I'm going to say that looks like Pat's office.
Yeah, we've been trying to hunt down Pat for the Poppins podcast for how many months now, since the end of the season. So hopefully put a little bit of pressure on him so we can get the well, he's pretty much like the main character of this podcast, and as you know, it's impossible to track him down.
I was going to say, he hasn't been on for a while, a few life changes, but, we'll get Pat back on here in a little while. But it's great to see you, Trent. Obviously, you've been in the news. It's been a little bit over a week. You're back in the U.S. Tell us, you've had a little bit of time to digest it. What's it mean to you to win a world championship?
Oh, it's everything. Everything I've ever dreamed of is kind of came to fruition in that tournament. And it's definitely a little surreal, being back here for a week and trying to just process everything is hard. But I feel really lucky. I feel really blessed to be able to accomplish my goals and do it in Raleigh. It's something that I take a lot of pride in, is representing the Wolfpack RTC as well as the United States of America on that stage. So just to have the opportunity to chase my goals in the first place is amazing, and then to take that into the World Championships and just achieve a lifelong goal, it's really special. Something that I'm super grateful for, and it was at times it was rocky, right? But just stay in the fight, and obviously that finals match was insane. But I think my focus and my discipline heading into the tournament with my training and just the atmosphere we have here at the Wolfpack RTC and the NC State wrestling program, I knew I was prepared. I knew that I was ready to do great things, and it was just a matter of time before I break through and do those things. So just trusting in the process, trusting in myself, never giving up on myself and my goals, and got the opportunity to do it at the World Championships and got it done. So just really, really special.
You've been on a whirlwind media tour. You did not do your own podcast first. Pat refuses to give us money, so I guess we couldn't pay you to get you on. But you've been back. Have you taken some days off? Have you relaxed? What's it been like since you got back to Raleigh?
It's been a little crazy. It's weird. Like my body feels really good. I'm healthy. If it was up to me, I'd probably just get back into practice. But I know that I need some time off, probably more mentally than anything, with it being so emotional and so mentally taxing. It's such you have such a big high, and then to try to manage that and get right back into the process can be tough. So I'm just trying to make sure I soak it in as much as I can right now. Been back for about a week, just being with the guys in the team, helping them out in practice, just trying to be, whether it's motivating or give them some lessons that I learned from the tournament or my matches, or just helping them in technical areas as they go through this preseason slate. It just feels good to be back in the room. It's where I feel most comfortable in the wrestling room, helping guys, even if I'm not training. So I've just been soaking it in, been able to take some time off and kind of just eat whatever I want, which is nice. Not restrict myself too much. So just having fun, enjoying the kind of end of the summer in Raleigh, which is something I've never really gotten to do. So just soaking it in and helping these guys out as much as I can.
Say you're in the room a little bit with the guys. You didn't mention if you were out on the track early in the mornings doing some cardio.
I haven't made it to any of the preseason workouts. The guys are starting to get on me a little bit. They're saying that I changed ever since I won this world title. My work ethic has gone down. So I might have to get over to the stadiums early tomorrow morning and see what I got.
I'm gonna display a cool picture here because it seems every wrestler, this is their dream. So kind of describe, how was it you took the mat after the win, got to display the U.S. flag, took that victory lap? What kind of feeling was that?
Oh, it's amazing. Part of the dream to win a world title is to have that opportunity to carry the flag around the circle. It's like, that's like the thing. When you win, you get that chance to take the flag and do that victory lap. And just watching, kind of your heroes growing up do that, and knowing that it's like something you think about every night you go to sleep. It's like, man, what would that feeling be like? What will it feel like to grab that flag and go around? And it was everything that I wanted it to be. It's for for a moment you're so tired, your body's shot, you're so exhausted, but it's kind of a euphoric, just numbing feeling to hug your coach and to get the flag and just to hear the people chanting USA. It's like it gives you chills. And I kind of just remember feeling like my body was numb and hollow and just a surreal feeling. It's just no way else to describe it. It's something that it's a feeling that you can't buy, you can't get it any other way. And to represent the U.S. is just super special. With it being kind of a crazy week in the United States, especially with 9/11 happening, and we were at the Ramstein Air Force Base for a week training before, and we got to hear from some people in the Air Force, some Special Forces guys, and just really motivating to hear like how much it means for us to represent the United States and how much it means to them for us to go out there and wrestle hard and win. It was just really cool, and you just had such an immense amount of pride to wear USA on your singlet. And I knew that if I was going out there and I had the USA on my singlet, I was going to wrestle hard, and that was the best way that I could represent our country and represent the Wolfpack RTC as well, as just wrestle as hard as I possibly could. And when I do that, my results are pretty good. So I was just gaining confidence in wrestling hard and representing the country and the club the best that I could.
Where did you put the medal? Where did you put the belt?
Yeah, I the belt's like kind of a little bit awkward. It's really, really cool, but I ran out of space in my checked bag, so I just had to carry it with me around the airport. So people probably thought I was taunting it a little bit, but it's cool. I'll probably try to get I don't know, get it hung up somewhere in my house. I imagine like if I go anywhere these next few weeks to get like honored or anything, it'll be cool to kind of throw that over the shoulder like a WWE superstar. So it's cool. The scarf is pretty cool too, with like the Croatia flag checkerboard. I don't think the flowers made it back though. I think I don't even remember where they went, but the picture is really cool.
You've been on the world stage. You went to junior world championships. You went to U23s and obviously the seniors. What was the difference at the senior world championship?
Not much, honestly. I feel like I felt a lot more confident this time going in, having those experiences. I just felt like, the more I've wrestled on the senior level and the more I've wrestled internationally, I get more confidence in just my style and being poised, and not like respecting guys too much, and just sticking to what I'm good at, because their style is so different. It can be kind of hard to adjust. So if you give them too much credit in certain positions, it kind of throws you off your game. But I think I just had a lot of confidence, reflecting on my bronze medal at U20s and my silver at U23s. I learned a lot from those experiences, and not just the matches themselves, but traveling and being around other high performers on the team and other high performing coaches. You just soak a lot in. So, I was just enjoying the trip as much as I could. This one specifically, just knowing like how hard it is to make a team is. I think going into the World Championships, I just wanted to soak it up as much as I could, and any type of experience I could, whether it was some sightseeing or special events that they had for the team set up or with the support staff. Like I just tried to really soak it in and enjoy it as much as possible, because I knew when the wrestling started, I was going to be focused and I was going to go hard. So it's just being overseas, being around other coaches that have won World Championships and been to the Olympics. You just trust in what they're saying, and trust that you're ready to go, soak it all in. But when the wrestling starts, it's just like anything else I've ever done, whether it's a dual meet in Reynolds or a tournament in Croatia, my approach to my matches is the same. So just kind of getting in that mental framework of what's my process look like, what's going to help me perform well, what do I need to eat, what do I need to listen to, what does my warm-up need to look like. Just try to keep it really consistent to what my good performances looked like before. And I was able to do that and just find my process and compete well.
You said kind of stuff off the mat. You had quite a contingency going over. Not contingency. You had a lot of support going over there. Family, friends. Nikki kills it on Twitter, by the way. So I'm going to put up a picture that she posted. But just talk about the crew that you had over there to support you.
Yeah, it was amazing. Obviously my whole family there, my fiance and her mom, our friends' family was there, coaches. this picture is kind of funny because this was like I was in doping control, right when you come off the mat, you pretty much have somebody follow you around. They can't like leave your side. So I didn't get to see them right after my match. The doping people were on me. I got off the podium and I went right to the P testing area, and I was like fourth in line. I was just sitting there like, dude, I haven't seen my family yet. So I had them come down, and this is like right outside the door. And like I had been crying, they were all crying. Everybody was kind of a mess, but it was just so cool to have them there. Like that was really the most special thing for me, that I was able to accomplish my goal, but also to do it there with the people that meant the most to me. And I like to say like this, it's a group effort. It's my entire family ever since I was a kid has just sacrificed a lot for me to do what I've done, and for them to travel and watch me achieve this goal. It was a group effort. It's a Hidlay family title, and that's how I like to celebrate it. So it was really cool being able to just hug them, and with everyone's emotions all over. Sometimes it was just like I just couldn't stop laughing. Like, did we really just do this? Like, did that just happen? And I still kind of feel like that when I look at these pictures or I rewatch the match. I'm just like, I can't like in my head process that's what went down. But just being in the present, and it was just an awesome feeling. Just awesome to see them there, to hug them, to have them in the stands. I know I put them through a lot that weekend, so it was just really cool to be able to celebrate at the end.
Trent, nice season here on the podcast. We're getting very professional. I have a little surprise for you. I didn't tell you beforehand. Special guest bringing on all the way from California, brother Hayden Hidlay. I thought Hayden would just be a different perspective too, because I wanted to get some of his opinion. Hayden, you were there in the stands. Just what were the emotions like being a family member for Trent during this process?
Yeah, it was a lot. I think like the first day was pretty easy. There wasn't too much that happened during the matches that caused us a lot of problems, and he was on top of the things. The finals match was a lot for me, so I kind of served a couple purposes in the stands. So I was trying to explain the challenges to my parents, and so my dad, what happens during the match, he gets so stressed that he just starts sweating, and he's usually on his own little island. My mom is totally freaked out, and she looks to me like I have all the answers for things. And so during the challenge breaks, I'm trying to explain to them what I think is going to end up happening. And so that was all crazy. But then once we got to intermission, everybody sort of like eased in, I think, because they could sort of see the writing on the wall that he was starting to wear on the guy. And then everybody was just, our excitement just kept going, increase. And the first period was not good. And like you could see as the match went on, everybody started to just get more excited and less like freaking out. And so it's tough that I have to be the voice of reason and rationality during those moments, because I'm also trying to be a fan and freak out as well. And then once the match ends, everybody just goes nuts. I felt like it was for like 3 minutes we were just screaming. And it was one of the funniest memories that I think I'll carry with me was our foreign exchange student that lived with us whenever we were kids. Her family was there. She's from Zagreb and lives in the area still. And her husband, after Trent won, he started singing Celebrate Good Times. And so we're all there with like tears in our eyes and like totally freaking out. And he's singing that song in the stands. And just like what a wild rush. I just feel like to celebrate that with the family. The hardest thing was like actually getting to see Trent afterwards. Like I think it was probably an hour or an hour and a half passed before we actually got to meet up with him. They weren't really about letting him run into the stands and just totally mob the fan support club. So that was kind of a comedy of errors, us trying to get to him and celebrate. But once we finally did, we had a really cool evening as a family. I think one big memory for me was like we're all just sitting around the table celebrating, And I think my dad must have just rewatched the match on his phone like 6 times over. And it was just like a cool moment to see, like, just my dad, the amount of time that our parents spent with us, like to have a moment like that, to like soak it in. And like, instead of like, I don't know, like talking as a family and like just like hanging out, like he was just so glued to watching the match over and over again. It's just like a proud parent moment. So those were a couple of the memories I had from it all.
So Hayden, as a former wrestler and coach, and Trent kind of explained his thought, but sitting in the stands from your perspective, what does a world title mean? I mean, how big of an accomplishment is this in the wrestling world?
It's crazy. It's like I think we're so surrounded by other accomplishments, and like you're going through this stage, and it's almost like normalized. I guess that's like kind of crazy to think, but he's been at such a high level for so long that it's like it feels normal. But then you take a step back and realize like how infinitely improbable something like this is. Like you start looking at data of how hard it is to be a Division I wrestler. You start looking at data to see how hard it is to become a Division I starter, and then it just the number keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and just like even post college, how many of those people actually keep following up with those trends. And to think about somebody that was born in Lewistown, Pennsylvania, and goes all the way to this stage, it's like you got to pinch yourself sometimes when you look at the numbers and how improbable some of those things are. I don't know. It's probably not an exact science, but you're looking at 0.00001% of the people that lace up their shoes and do something like this. And it's just, it's crazy. I think that's the only way I can put it. But with us, we've been around the sport so long, and you're constantly in the mix for things, and you're just as shy of like being able to accomplish it. And then when you do, it's like these last few weeks still haven't felt real. I think it's like we're pinching ourselves each time, and you think back, wow, that actually happened. It's kind of surreal.
And Trent, I'll ask you while Hayden's here. How do you balance kind of getting ideas off him as a brother, getting ideas off of a coach, getting away from wrestling? What's your relationship just like kind of since Hayden's been gone the past couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, we communicate a lot, and I think that in a way, with Hayden being a full-time coach and me being a full-time athlete, there's probably even more that we learn from each other, even at a distance, because it's two completely different roles and like careers. As close as it is in the sport, right? I'm very focused on the training and technical aspect and tactics of my own game, and he's doing that for his athletes and just growing a lot as a coach and in the recruiting sphere. So there's two very different rules, but it's a high level commitment from both of us. And with us being so close and so involved in each other's careers and lives, like I think we still communicate a lot, and there's a lot to learn from each other, even if it's over the phone or text or through a video, or hey, did you see what this guy did, or hey, my athlete's doing this, like what would you do from there? So I think you just continue to learn, and you just continue to grow with each other and from what the other person's doing. So I think the process of us growing up together, being in high school, being in college, and now Hayden coaching and me wrestling on the senior level, nothing really has changed that much. The goals that we have for ourselves just continue to be high. We push each other and hold each other to those standards, but we're just constantly learning from each other.
And Hayden, I'll get you out of here on this because you coach at another ACC school, and I'm going to ask Trent about our current team, so I don't want you to hear any of that stuff. But you're out at Stanford. I kind of looked. Stanford's roster is absolutely loaded. The NC State-Stanford duel is going to be incredible. Pat hasn't tweeted out the schedule yet, but I'm pretty sure NC State's going out there. Give us a little bit of a rundown, not by athlete, but just what's Stanford looking like this year, and what kind of competition is that duel in the ACC championship's going to be?
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is kind of the way Coach Harris has talked about this year's team as like a tipping point. There's been a lot of things that have happened with the program to set us up for a year that we can have a really good springboard. I think this is the year to do it. There's a lot of talent in terms of like the recruits that have been brought in, and people kind of getting into their form, having some experience. And, we had to redshirt a lot of some of our best guys in the previous years. That sets up for a year like this to really maximize the points that you get. And in terms of the ACC, it's like, if you want to compete in this conference and win a conference title, you have to be able to put yourself in the mix to be an NCAA trophy team. Fortunately, that conference sets you up really well to be able to compete at the national level. And, you're going to have to get through a lot of really good teams, and just having that firsthand experience of seeing what a team looks like that does that, I think it helps me as a coach and just being able to evaluate where we're at. And so, you're going to have to beat a team like NC State, a team like Virginia Tech that have rosters that are made to win a team trophy. And I think that we're very comparable in that way. This year is going to be awesome to be able to experience a home duel against NC State, against a team that's going to be really good, and then also being able to go away to Virginia Tech and seeing that environment for our guys and being able to compete with both of those teams. At the end of the day, you got to be able to beat teams like that if you want to be at the level that we want to be at nationally. And so I'm really looking forward to having everybody come out to Palo Alto this year for the NC State duel. We'll have a lot of family out, and Brian, hopefully they bring you along on the trip as well. I don't know what the Pack Mentality podcast boosters are doing right now. As a host, I don't know if we had a secret slush fund to fly out the host, but hopefully they can scrape together some funds to get you out here.
I was just going to say, kind of history here, the three faces of the podcast. I think we all agree we're all better radio faces than we are video faces. And Hayden, nothing has changed since you hosted. Pat still doesn't give us any money or any support. So, but Trent has stepped up big time. He's filled your shoes, so I always appreciate that. But Hayden, it was great having you on. Just a different perspective. The family dynamic, everybody obviously knows the Hidlays and the way you guys are together. And I thought it was kind of cool that I texted you and you told me you couldn't do it at certain times, but we had to change all of our plans. So we did this time for Hayden, Trent. That's why I switched it on you last night. But
yeah, I might be like the most gullible person ever, because my fiance threw a surprise party for me last Saturday night at Mitch's. I was completely surprised. Today I had no idea, so I don't know if I'm just super gullible or what, but maybe I should be more attentive to things.
Yeah, sorry, Brian. Sorry for my employment that I wasn't able to fit you in on a 3-hour notice, essentially.
It was a short notice. You're on a different coast and all that, but we appreciate you, Hayden. It's good seeing you as always.
I'll tell you one last thing. People may say I don't know how to give good Christmas gifts, but if you see behind Hayden there, those are two really snazzy looking folks. Maybe since I've won something, I can get what was that from, the Hall of Fame? They put those together.
Yeah.
And to put together some cool picture of me together.
Yeah. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Hayden.
Thanks, Hayden. Appreciate you. But a little surprise there for you, Trent. We're kind of all over the map here, but I want to touch on two. Hold on, I had one more picture because I like showing these pictures. Coaches support. You talked about your family. You talked about your friends. Kind of tell us who from the NC State side, obviously everybody helps you, but who was involved during this whole process?
Oh, a lot, and ever since, I look back into when I first got to NC State, just the plethora of amazing coaches that I've had, from obviously Pat's been there the whole time, Donnie Vincent, Adam Hall, Timmy McCall, and then the additions of Zach Esposito and Jamil Kelly these past few years. I think, you look into this picture of me and Jamil, it's an interesting dynamic between us, and he touched on it on Instagram post the other day. Like, we're two very completely different people in terms of intensity levels, personality. Jamil is just very, very calm, very collected, always in a very good equilibrium, and I have my highs, I have my freak outs, my lows. So it's been awesome to be around Jamil, because he's really helped me just try to find the middle of that, especially when I'm getting ready to compete, and knowing when I can kind of tap into my crazy side and when to pull back the reins a little bit. And honestly, one of the coolest things about this weekend was in my matches, especially in my semis and my finals, when it was pretty chaotic. There was a lot happening. Jamil was like freaking out a lot, and he was really like animate, which you never see. And I felt super calm and collected. I was like, this is just, I'm just out here competing. I'm just trying to get the next point. And I think he was way more stressed out than I was. So it was interesting to see those rules reversed a little bit, but he's been very, very impactful for me. Like I said, in terms of from a mental standpoint, a preparation standpoint, and technical aspect as well. I've developed a lot of offense over these past few months and this past year that really helped me win this world title. So Jamil and Zach are two of the best technicians in the world, and we get them in the Wolfpack RTC and the NC State program. I definitely saw a huge impact in the way that I perform mentally, but also the way my technique and my tactics have improved.
Did you see him throw up a 4 on your one move right to the camera's about 2 inches from him the whole time?
That's what he said. The camera was in his face the entire time. He did it in the semifinal match, and then he got it again right there in the finals. So that became a meme pretty quickly on Twitter, I think.
Sitting here end of September now, but kind of what's next for you?
Yeah, right now just trying to take a little bit of time off to just recover, let my nervous system just relax a little bit. I've been training really, really hard, really since March, even before that a little bit. So it's been nonstop throughout the summer, and obviously it came to fruition and it worked out well. But right now, the beauty of getting a medal at the World Championships is I'll sit in Final X next year. So that'll be in early June. And you got to win 2 out of 3 matches to make the next world team. So I'm set up in a good position to do that. I'll do Pan Ams next year. I'll probably hit a ranking series tournament in the beginning of the year, somewhere either in January or February. But for the rest of this year, maybe a match or 2 on one of the RAF professional cards. I haven't heard much about it in terms of matchups, but we'll see. We'll kind of see how that goes. Right now, just easing into it and trying to help out the college team as much as I can. Just be in the room with them, help as a practice partner, as a coach, as a mentor, getting them ready to finish out this preseason strong and head into their dual meets and their tournament schedule. So I'll be doing a little bit of broadcasting too. I'm going to be on the team for the national duels in November. Hopefully I didn't spoil their announcement or anything, but that'll be cool. I'll do some broadcasting, some commentary, keep my body just recovering a little bit, just try to soak this up as much as I can before I get back into full phase of training.
That professional wrestling league you were talking about, RAF, obviously started by Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff. You have signed to it. They have matches. I think they're trying every month, maybe every other month, but I think Gwiz is trying to put his name out there. He wants to get on a card. You versus Gwiz. It's happened in the practice room quite a bit this summer.
That would be a treat for the NC State fans. I need to. He's not too big right now, but I'll need him to bring his weight down for a catch weight, I think.
I don't know. It sounds like your weight's going up a little bit here. Not doing cardio, eating what you want.
I'm trying.
Lastly, I'll get you out of here on this RTC event coming up October 10th, the 8th annual Golfing with the Wolves Eagle Ridge Golf Club. I've had Pat talk about the golf tournament many of times. What's it mean to RTC? But as an RTC athlete, tell us about the golf tournament. What can fans expect? How much fun is it to be out there?
Yeah, well, this season we really tried to revamp it. Just look at what we've done in the years past, and how can we make this be a really fun time to be a fan. Obviously, with me coming off a world title, there's a lot to celebrate, and there's a lot of people that have a hand in not just the RTC success, but me winning that world title. People know the Wolfpack RTC is fully funded by fans and supporters and donors, and that's more important now than ever. For me to be able to do what I just did is directly dependent on the fundraising that we have and the donors that we have. So this is always a date that I have circled on my calendar. I love the vibes around the golf outing as it is. You get everybody together, you get to have fun, share some stories, get to meet old people from NC State teams or just wrestling fans in general. But this year is going to be extra special. Obviously, I'll have my belt there, I'll have my medal there, and there's just so much to celebrate with some people that have given a lot to help me do what I do and to help bring in people like Jameel Kelly and to keep Gwiz here training. So there's so much to celebrate. It's going to be an amazing time. I'm pretty sure they're just about, if they're not already, they're almost sold out on golfers. And now just trying to get some. There's a lot of sponsorship opportunities available, I know, for the event. So if you're interested in, or your company's interested in sponsoring the event, there's going to be a ton of people there. It's a great opportunity to get your name out there or your company's name out there. But yeah, it's just going to be really exciting. I'm excited. I'll probably be on one of the tees. I imagine I'll see if I can get my driver going and help some people out. But I'm really looking forward to being there, meeting and just hanging around the people that mean the most in this program and the RTC. It's going to be a really great time. Obviously, the guys on the team will be there, and the Wolfpack RTC is just, there's so much momentum right now. You know, with coming off the NCAA season, with Vince winning a national title, me winning a world title, and Tommy Gant winning the Contender Series and getting his contract for the UFC. There's nothing that you can't accomplish at NC State, and it's a testament to our supporters and our donors. So now more than ever, it's important that we'll have, you know, the people there and celebrate them and have a great night.
Pretty sure you're a 2-club golfer. You take your driver and you take your putter. That's all you need.
Hey, I'm actually not that bad, so okay. I can play. If people need a driver, you know, I'll be there. I don't know. Hopefully, I'll be on the 1 tee and I'll just be teeing them off all day.
Fans, visit wolfpackrtc.org. More information. Obviously, that's coming up very early. We'd love to see so many fans out there. Always a great event. Trent, fun episode. You know, a lot of pressure on us now. We said season 9 was premiering. This was the premiere. We don't have any other interviews booked yet, so I guess you got to get on this and figure out what we're doing. But looking forward to having you host again, Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast, and just talking Wolfpack Wrestling. It's about that time. We're in preseason, a little more than a month away here.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a great year. I'm excited to get back on the podcast, and I've got some ideas up my sleeve, so we'll see what I can come up with here in the next few weeks.
Sounds great. Trent, thanks for joining us. Wolfpack fans, another great episode of the Pack Mentality Pop-Ins podcast. Until next time, we'll see you later. Go Pack.